Well, Kevin, your report focuses largely on Stephen Hadley, who served as a national security advisor to President George W. Bush. During the debate on Syria, he appeared on CNN, MSNBC, Fox News, Bloomberg TV. None of these stations informed viewers that Hadley currently serves as a director of the weapons manufacturer Raytheon that makes Tomahawk cruise missiles. He also owns over 11,000 shares of Raytheon stock, which traded at all-time highs during the Syria debate. Here's Stephen Hadley being interviewed by Greta Van Susteren on Fox News about the so-called red line on Syria.
Did he or didn't he? And does it matter who did as we sort of fuss about this red line? Joining us is Stephen Hadley, former national security advisor to the Bush administration. Did he set the line, and does it matter?
He did set the line, and it probably doesn't matter because the line is set, and the credibility of the country is on the line. And in some sense, the Congress needs to act in such a way so as not to undermine the credibility of President Obama. You know, we only have one president at the time, and he embodies the United States. So if his credibility is undermined, the country's credibility is undermined. And I think that's an argument that people are beginning to think about on Capitol Hill.
That was Stephen Hadley. And, of course, the Tomahawk missile that Raytheon produces was the one that was going to be used in the attack on Syria. Kevin, your response?
Well, this is just a really egregious, significant conflict of interest that people should have been notified of when Hadley was making the rounds to the outlets you mentioned. He also published an op-ed in the Washington Post arguing strenuously for war, and at the same time, as you mentioned, serves on the board of Raytheon, has nearly $900,000 worth of stock in that company, makes $130,000 a year in cash compensation, actually chairs the Public Affairs Committee for Raytheon, which means that he has oversight of sort of the company's public profile and image in the media and in policy circles. So this is really a quite clear conflict of interest, and it should have been disclosed to readers and viewers.
The Washington Post has also been criticized for failing to inform its readers about Stephen Hadley's defense ties. On September 8th, as you said, Kevin, the paper published an op-ed by Hadley that was headlined, "To Stop Iran, Obama Must Enforce Red Lines with Assad." The article described Hadley simply as a former national security advisor in the George W. Bush administration.
Did it surprise you that the Russians and the Americans agreed on such an agreement with such a short time scale, like 7 days for Syria to divulge on all the details of its chemical weapon program and so on?
Yes, but it has echoes of Iraq in 2003 when Saddam Hussein accepted an arrangement which had him, I think, within 30 days submitting an inventory of all his weapons of mass destruction, either saying that he had them or documenting that he had destroyed them. And of course the document that he provided was woefully inadequate and viewed as inadequate not just by the United States but by the United Nations. So that will be the test for Assad. Is he really going to play this game in good faith, or is this going to be a tool that he will use to delay and to buy off an American military strike?